Okay, Matt. I thought it might be easier if I just give you a kind of a tour of what our facility looks like and how we do things rather than typing it in an email. So this is the entrance to our current facility right now. We've made several updates and we've gotten several grants. I know you talked about your segmenting clock that you use for everything timed. I do that as well, and I've found a lot of cool apps that we use in here to make things run a little bit more efficiently, and this is one of them. We run this through iPads or an iPhone, and it just connects to the TV through HDMI, and we shoot that out throughout the weight room. Also have a speaker connected to it. But we started off with, originally we had 8 racks in here, these power lift racks, and as we grew we found that we had some space issues and just bought some different racks that kind of fit our needs a little bit better. You'll see that we have these infinity racks that are wall mounts that kind of make use of a narrow space for us, and you can adjust the J cups and the benches to either side to fit kind of our needs. Last year we expanded. We had a control room back in this area, which is now our new area of the weight room. We have 3 wall mount racks, and then we have the 2-sided 6 more of the infinity rack over here. I bought this all through Rogue. So we can fit 9 racks comfortably in this tight little space back here, and I think it's about 1,500 additional feet that we get back here. We also store our rowing machines up against the wall back here, as well as some dumbbells and boxes for plyos. We have 5 racks back here, and then our newest addition is back here, this 2-sided rack, which was a little bit more efficient use of the space that we have back here. So with that, we total about 24 racks in our facility and can accommodate 96 student athletes at a time. So again, use the timers. We got lots of dumbbells and Dynamax med balls for plyos and for targets for our squats. But now I guess I'll show you the technology integration that you're asking about. You're getting iPads, which is fantastic. We also use the iPads. We have a charging station, and we keep them all here. Next year we'll have 24 for each of the racks. And we'll do all of our strength and conditioning within our PE classes, regardless of whether it's in season or out of season. So run different programming. One of the things that you asked about is tracking. That's one of the things that I was interested in doing, ever since I started this several years back when I was at Iowa City West. I found this program called Watify, and I'm going to show you how to log in on what students can do with any type of mobile device, either an iPad or an iPhone or any kind of smartphone, anywhere they have internet access. I put in my login information and log in. Let's see if our internet's working down here. Username is incorrect. I forgot a letter. CR. There we go. So once you get that in here, I'm going to log in here, put in my password. And there we go. So now I'm logged in, and I can see our workout for the day, and I can actually sign into class as well. And this is what I use for attendance. So class schedule, so it shows me the class schedule, and then I can sign in to my class where it says sign in for the hour that corresponds with the class. And then I can put in my results for that particular day, and I know it's kind of fuzzy here looking through an iPad at another iPad, but that's what we're doing today. This is a Metcon workout, and you asked how I integrate the CrossFit workouts with it. We use it a lot at the beginning to teach technique, and then we can do a short 5-10 minute workout at the end. But as we get into our structured strength, we'll use not only the CrossFit, but we'll do a little bit more extensive CrossFit workouts We'll do those 2 times a week, and then 3 days of structured strength. On our structured strength days, this is yesterday's that I have up here on the board. Monday, it tells our traditional program and what we're going to be doing, and then also our advanced program. This lets me run basically a class within a class and kind of upgrade the workout for those kids that are more advanced and that have the skills to be able to perform some of those movements. So on the left-hand side, I show what we're actually doing in class for the day, and then over here on the right side of the kiosk, I'll back up here a little bit so you can see the whole thing. You can see where I have logged in, and then the things that are in gray are the things that I've recorded. You know, you have our clean, and then they also have a sheet. I'm not recording everything that we do in our workout because obviously the workout is quite a bit more extensive than what I'm recording data for in here. But these are the major things that I track in class: a clean, a bench, and a back squat for my advanced group, and then for my traditional group, they're doing a push press and front squat. Again, these are not the only things that they're doing, but these are the things that I'm recording in here. And then we also have the graphical summary, and I'll send you a screenshot of this. And this just shows the things that I've done. It shows a rep scheme if I hover over the top of it, and then my history for all the time that I've ever done cleans. I can also put in video here in the notes so that I can click and see what my technique looked like, and I'll show you a little bit more on that here in a minute. But it keeps everything that I've ever done, also my personal records, and then my percentages if I don't have access to my card, you know, if I'm doing this somewhere else other than school. So I've got that up there, and students can log in either on this kiosk where I have a keyboard, or they can use their mobile device like I showed you on the iPad or an iPhone or any kind of smartphone. They can download that app called Wodify. So when they actually come in, they'll all have a card. This is basically an Excel program that I've designed, and it has everything on here that they're going to do in class. And then all the movements. So they're in a 4-person rack. Everybody's in a 4-person rack, regardless of the number of people that are in the class. And then they have these exercises that they're going to perform. And you can see A1, A2, A3. And then with that, they'll also have one person who's going to spot or film during that movement. And usually that major movement is the 1. So A1, B1, and C1 on there. So that's a 4-week cycle. So this is phase number 2, and in phase number 2 they're going to have 2 days of CrossFit, and then you can see that they've got 3 days of structured strength and what the program looks like. So there's 4 people in a rack, and then you can see that this is an advanced program, and they have a sheet just like this, and they can see on the front side of their folder everybody that's in the rack, and then the strength of each person in the rack, so they can set up the rotations so that the weakest person is going first and the strongest person's last, and that just makes it run a little bit more efficiently. So, and then with that they'll have 45 seconds, and you can see that up on the clock. And if I turn on the speaker with this, we can start this thing, and it's connected to my iPhone right now, and that shoots up through a wire and feeds up into all the television screens in here. So I can start that.
Set 1, rotation 1.
And I have a speaker that'll tell what set we're on, what rotation we're on, so they know when to move. And then whenever we switch,
Set 1, rotation 2.
it'll start a new 45 seconds. You can see how much time we have remaining, the interval that we're on, and then the time that's elapsed. And up above it tells them what set we're on and what rotation we're on. So that's been really nice. It's completely programmable, so I can customize that for our summer workouts, make them longer, and more rotations if we need those. So the other thing you asked about was other ways that we track, and enter data so it's more efficient. At the beginning, when we first set this up, I've got my students in class, and you can see those over on the left-hand side. And then we'll go out and we'll do our max out. We do a 3-rep max, and we're shooting for anywhere between 3 and 8 on that to get that as close as we can to the estimated 1-rep max without actually doing a 1-rep max and kids getting hurt. And then they'll enter those in here. They'll have an instructor that oversees those movements, and then they'll come up to the screen at the kiosk and they'll enter that in. And then from that, I'll organize this by strength in the groups here by their clean, and then I'll put them in rack order, and I can just, these are just drop downs, and I can do a little hierarchy of my racks, and this is what I use to I make labels with these, and then I cut them apart and place them on the front side of the cards or the folders at each one of the racks. And then I also keep my comparison sheet, and this, if I just click on an athlete's name, I can find their name, and it shows their estimated 1-rep maxes, and I've programmed all these cells to pull their original scores, and then they enter their final scores, and it gives them a comparison at the end. Their total strength gain from all 5 lifts, their initial weight club from the clean, the squat, and the bench, and then their final weight club gives their final test. Their clean, their squat, and their bench, and their gains for each one of those. I also do PT testing, their physical training tests, and I score those up here as well. And then from that, I'll have their workouts, and each one of the athletes will have an individualized workout with their maxes on it. So it changes with each one of the new things, and I can just print off a new one for each one of the athletes. So that's how I keep track of that as far as the Excel spreadsheets are concerned. And then I can put that up there at the end of a session as well when we test out and see their overall strength gains. So that's how that works. And then, you know, like I said, they'll have their individual cards at the rack. When they get finished with those, they go back in the folder, and then I collect those and set out the new ones for the next class. So pretty quick and efficient use of time and space. Our classes are about 52 minutes. And then the students will also use the iPads. Like I said, if they're not spotting directly, like on a clean, they're going to use an app called UberSense. And on UberSense, they'll take video, and that video can be taken and they're basically making a library, and they can attach that library up in here in the notes so they can see their data piece as well as their video. And then they're going to tag it with the movement, the year, the trimester or semester that we're in, and then the class period with what they're in. And then I have a digital library of every movement that they've ever performed in class. And we do 1 priority movement per day. So today, or yesterday, would have been, for our advanced group, it would have been back squat, and for our traditional group, which is our less experienced group, it would have been a front squat. So they'll get 1 video per day and 1 movement. So that's where we're at, and that's how we use the technology and different pieces of it. If you have any questions, just let me know.